This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, so in this video, we're going to be looking at Lab 4 in Math 90. It's the My Giant workshop, The Giant's Crown. So Lab 3, we worked on finding the giant's height. Today, we need to figure out how large of a crown the giant would need based on how big the giant's head is. But we're still going to use this information that body parts tend to be proportional. So we can set up a proportion here. So to do this, we already looked at foot length in inches, and that helped us figure out the giant's height. But we need to look at head circumference now to see how wide the giant's head must be in order to measure that giant for a crown. So what we're really after is setting up a proportion here where we have to be consistent, but we can do the giant's foot length compared to my foot length and set that equal to the giant's head circumference compared to my head circumference. And do you notice in setting up this proportion how I was consistent? Giant foot to my foot, giant's head to my head. Okay, now it tells us that the giant's foot length is 18 inches. And now, does anybody have a ruler there that you can measure your foot length, or do you want to just go with mine? Anybody have a ruler where you can measure your own foot length? I'm not hearing anybody. Let me see who else here still.
I do not have a ruler.
Okay, so we'll just go with mine. I'm getting out a ruler to measure my foot length. I think it's 10 inches, but just check. Roughly 10 inches. And we'll go in 10 inches here. And then we need the giant's head circumference, but we don't know it. So we'll call it an X compared to my head circumference. And so to measure your head circumference, you're just measuring around your head, like as if you were putting on a hat. If you're measuring for how big of a hat you should buy. So measure is a good way to do that. Let me I'll be looking at that. Actually, I don't even need a tape measure. I can just measure it with a string or a scarf or something, and then set that next to the unit. So I'm just going to take a scarf, wrap it around my head. So that gives me the length using a ruler. So giving me 12 plus 9 inches. So that would be 20 inches. For my head circumference. And now we just need to solve this proportion. So we'll take, to solve a proportion, you multiply on the diagonal where you've got numbers and divide by the other number. We'll take 18 divided by this on Desmos, 18 times 21 divided by, and that would be 37.8 inches for the giant's head circumference. Now let's turn that into feet and inches. Do you know how many inches are in 1 foot? Alfonso?
12.
Yes, there's 12 inches in a foot. So if we just skip count by 12s here to see how many feet this would be, that would be 12, 24, 36. So that's 3 feet. If I subtract 36 off of this, 37.8 inches minus 36. And by the way, 36 inches is also a yard, 3 feet in a yard. So we're left with 1.8 inches left. So the giant's head circumference is 37.8 inches, but turning in that into feet and inches, we have 3 feet, which you put as a slash, and 1.8 inches. Okay, any questions on how to set up that proportion?
No, ma'am.